On a stormy night, a large passenger plane was flying through the dark sky and fierce winds. Peter was flying with his family. Suddenly, everything changed as the plane lost balance. His eyes widened and his heart started pounding rapidly. The plane suddenly changed direction, the sky darkened, and a violent tremor began. Everything turned into chaos in an instant. With a loud noise, the plane began to fall towards the ocean. Peter managed to survive the crash, but the fear he experienced while flying with his family left deep scars on his soul. Among the wreckage of the plane that had fallen into the ocean, Peter forced his eyes open and emerged from the water. Aiming only to survive, he began swimming towards the shore. When he reached the shore, he collapsed, exhausted and frightened. There was no one around, but something was waiting for him. This lonely island offered him both fear and curiosity. At that moment, Peter decided to only focus on surviving. The first days on the island passed in fear. The forest, sea, and wild nature gradually forced Peter to survive with determination. Trying to find food and water, he began to adapt to his new environment. However, one day, while walking through the deep forest, Peter unknowingly encountered the eyes of the island's guardian. A tiger emerged from the depths of the forest and stared at Peter. This creature was the silent guardian of the island. The tiger approached Peter, sensing his presence as a threat. Peter pulled back in fear. Several times he felt the tiger following him through the forest. He hurriedly moved on, but no matter where he went, he always felt the tiger's gaze behind him. Hiding in the forest, he had to wait by the riverbank. The tiger, vanishing between the shadows, kept approaching him again and again. Peter made every effort to hide from this massive predator while running away. However, the tiger's presence reminded him that the island was not alone, and that it was ruled by mysterious powers. Over time, Peter began to adapt not only to surviving, but also to following the island's rules. He started communicating with the animals in the forest and followed their paths. He began to recognize various plants and learn how to use them for food. Over time, he started living in harmony with the animals. He gathered food with the monkeys, spending the nights among them. He was learning the language of nature, becoming stronger and more independent with each passing day. The years Peter spent on the island allowed him to grow. He left behind his childhood years and became a strong man. Now, he possessed not only the will to survive, but also more power and knowledge to fight nature. One day, years later, the tiger appeared before Peter once again. But this time, Peter decided to face it, not just with fear, but with the survival instinct and the strength nature had given him. The tiger's eyes represented a long-standing battle. Peter used all the survival techniques the island had taught him to face the tiger. With a stone, he managed to neutralize the tiger. After the tiger's death, Peter realized that he had not only survived on the island, but had also become a powerful being in harmony with nature. He had triumphed against the island's dark powers. Over time, Peter spent years on the island, and loneliness gnawed at him. But a glimmer of hope had emerged. One day, after staying on the beach for a long time, gathering his thoughts, he decided to write an SOS in the sand. As the sun set, Peter, watching this message, felt a light of hope fill him. He had been lost and alone for years, surviving, but this message would give him the hope to return. After a while, the lights of a helicopter appeared from the distant shore. Peter, after many years, saw his salvation. As the silhouette of the island receded in the background, Peter sat in the helicopter, reflecting on everything he had lived through. He was now a strong man, transformed by the island, but while carrying the marks of those years, he had to reconcile with his past.